Today, guys, we're going to take our reMarkable paper Pure and we're going to install a couple of mods using reManager. reManager is a platform of adding mods to your reMarkable tablet that was introduced to me by Mitchell Scott. Mitchell Scott is one of the developers of reManager that he manages with a team of other developers. So let's check it out. Welcome everybody back to the channel. This is 2530 Media, and of course I am Aaron Reed. Hey, if you guys are new here, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified of when I release these videos, which I try to do at least once a week. And if you're finding this information informative, useful, or just entertaining, well, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Today, we're going to be adding a couple of mods to my reMarkable paper Pure, and I'm going to be using reManager, something that was introduced to me by Mitchell Scott. And Mitchell Scott is the person who is bringing us reManager. reManager is something that him and a team of other developers who are dedicated to giving us reMarkable mods has put together. I'll leave a link in the description to Mitchell's YouTube page where you'll be able to get all the information you want on reManager. Now, I'm not suggesting you take your reMarkable tablets and throw a bunch of mods on them. If I were you, I would do my due diligence in investigating reMarkable mods, their policies of modding your tablet, and exactly what you're doing when you start modding your reMarkable tablets. And if you're comfortable with it and you think you want to give it a try, hey, if you want to, you want to. I'm just showing you what I'm doing with reMarkable mods and how I'm using them on my tablet. Now, I'm not adding a lot of mods to my tablet. To be honest with you, I really don't need much. I'm fine with the native software. But I think in one of my reviews of the reMarkable Paper Pro, I stated that out of all the tools that I was used to using on a different platform that I've pivoted from, the only two tools that I truly miss when I get to reMarkable are going to be creating a table of content or some type of outline, and of course, linking between different notes or documents. So in this video, I'm going to take you through reManager. I'm going to walk you through what that process looks like of adding the mods to your tablet, and I'm going to show you the couple of mods that I wanted to add. Now let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is open up reManager. Now that we have reManager open, you'll see that it lets us know we have a couple of upgrades for some things that are on our tablet or within reManager. Now, once you do the initial setup for your tablet and reManager, you'll always have them saved. So here you see I have the Paper Pro, the Paper Pro Move, and the Paper Pure. They're all saved to reManager, so all I simply have to do is connect. We're going to be connecting the Paper Pure. So now that my paper Pure is connected, you'll see here, it says that I have 30 mods already installed. So a couple of days ago, I went in and I installed just a bunch of mods to see if I liked them or not. So from there, so these are the mods that I installed. And what we're going to do today is kind of go through this list, see which ones I want to keep, which ones I know I'm not going to use, because some of them I just added just to test out. But we'll go through a couple of the tabs here. So you have your mods tab. This is going to be all the mods that you currently have installed. Next is going to be maintenance. That's going to be where you can go through here and you can see what packages that you have, if there are any upgrades available or not. Then you have utilities. This is where you have things like your file browser. If you want to upload files directly to your tablet, that's what I use when I want to set something as my sleep screen for my tablets. You can back up and restore. And you have a couple of different other utilities here. But today we're going to focus on the mods. Now, if you want to, you can sift through your mods by category just by selecting the category. And you can choose which one you want, from apps to fixes to framework to other to UI. And of course, utilities. You also can search through developers. If you know there's a certain developer that you want to grab mods from, you can find that developer, you can select that developer, and it will filter the mods that they have developed. So we're going to do all developers right now. And we're going to first look at apps. So this is where you can add any apps that you would want to utilize on your tablet. And we're just going to scroll through. I really don't add too many apps, if any, to be honest with you. From that, we have fixes. We're going to have framework. Next, we're going to have other, which is just one, and it's incompatible. We have UI. UI is going to be a lot of just your UI mods that you can add to your tablet. And the cool thing I like about reManager is that it gives you a description of what that mod is that you're about to put on your tablet. If you click on it, you can get a in detail breakdown of what this app is, who it's created by, what tablets is created for. Once you select View README, you get more information on that mod. So what we're going to do is go through my mod list, and I'm going to take off some things that I know I'm not going to use. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with utilities, and we're going to go through our utilities list and see what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep. Once you go through this process and you select what you're going to remove and then what you want to install, it will do it all at once. Sometimes you'll come across something that's incompatible, and the system does a great job of letting you know it's incompatible. They also do a great job of letting you know that something is unmaintained. If you notice, when you select a section, all of the mods that you currently have equipped will be at the top, and it'll let you know you have 3 installed. Everything else that's not installed will be after that. Next, we're going to go to UI, where I have 16 mods applied. A lot of my mods are in UI. So this one is add tags to the context menu. That's one I like, so I'm going to keep that one. Better talk is something else that I like, and that is for the table of contents, along with better talk collapse. That's also a part of the table of content. Bluetooth settings is something I'm going to take off because I'm not using a Bluetooth keyboard for my Paper Pure. I'm also going to take this one off, this button press for pen charge. This is just something that I don't use or need. The create document from pages, we're definitely going to keep that because that is a tool that I utilize a lot. So duplicating annotated pages, this is something I don't use, so I'm going to remove that one. This one, extend list title width, something I don't use or care about, so I'm going to remove that one as well. So the favorite tag button is also something that I will leave on, and that's going to allow me to have the tags and favorites on my main menu bar, and we'll show you guys that once we get on tablet. So the filter annotated pages is something I will leave on because I can filter to see which pages were annotated on or not. Floating toolbar. The floating toolbar actually is a cool mod, but I just don't really care about having the floating toolbar. Sometimes it gets in my way, the little icon for the floating toolbar. So we're going to remove that one as well. Ghostbuster is something I'm going to leave on, which is a manual 5-finger tap gesture to manually refresh your screen. Deselection, which gives me the opportunity to select everything above the line. You know, the normal UI lets you select everything below the line. Well, this one adds to that function and lets you select everything above the line. So we're definitely going to leave that one on. Talk from selection is another thing that we're going to leave on. That allows me to create a table of content entry with the selection tool within my notes. So the toolbar icon, we're going to leave that one on, which allows me to see my toolbar settings while it is hidden. So now we get to the things that aren't currently added if I want to add some more of those mods. So we're going to go through this a little bit. I'm going to see if there's something that I do want to add. So it lets me know that there are 51 available, and 23 out of those 51 that are available are not compatible with the Paper Pure. I think I want to see what this add finish button looks like. So I'm going to add that one. I don't really care about changing the green color because this is a black and white tablet. So this changes vertical jump. I want to see what this is about. So if I want to get more information about it, I can click into it. Increases scroll distance when scrolling down a page. Okay. Disable infinite scroll. On the paper pure, I want to keep infinite scroll. But if you're someone who is not a huge fan of infinite scroll, that is definitely something that you can add to your tablet. So this is what I'm going to add as well, link from selection. So I should be able to create links from the selection tool. So we're going to add that as well. So I think we have 16 installed mods right now. We're going to remove 6 and add 2. So that's going to leave us with 12 installed. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to uninstall selected. Once that's done, it leaves me with 11. So I think I have everything that I need installed. So we're going to take a look at what that looks like on tablet. So now that we are on tablet, first thing we're going to look at is the clock that we added. So we're going to swipe down and you're going to see now that we have added the clock to our swipe down menu. Next, we're going to hop into our main menus. The one thing you're going to notice is we're going to have the app loader. When I tap into the app loader, the only thing that I have in the app loader is going to be RM Stream. That's going to allow me to share my tablet with other screens. When I select that, now I have the address for that screen share. Now you still have access to the native screen share. So if you swipe down and you select that, you still have the access to the native screen share that comes installed on the factory software. From there, we're going to pay attention to our bottom toolbar. Now, of course, we have our meeting notes, which I have no meetings for today because I'm off. And of course, we have the next 2 icons that come factory, which allow you to create notebooks, new folders, and of course, those quick pages. And of course, you have your search icon, which will allow you to enter the handwritten search and search your tags. But what we added to this menu is going to be a quick access to your tags. So by selecting that icon, now I have quick access to my tags, and I can break that down from all, of course, pages, and of course, my documents. From there, you notice I have the star. That star is going to allow me to access my favorites. So now I can access my favorites and my tags directly from my main toolbar on my homepage. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the 5-finger refresh that we added. So you're going to take your 5-finger tap and it's going to manually refresh your screen. The next thing that we added is going to be this here. So this icon is going to let you know what pen selection you have, what color is selected to, and what line width it is. So right now, if we look at it, we're going to be on the ballpoint pen. We're going to have medium width and it's blue, but we're going to change that to black. Now, if you notice that changed at the top. So if I go to a wider width, it's going to be 3. If I change it to red, it's going to change to that icon. If I change it to white, it changes to that icon, gray, and of course, back to black. And that is important because when we hide our toolbar, we still get the pen selection that lets us know what pen is selected, what color, and what width. So also what is new that we added is going to be the TLC. So the first thing you notice when I tap this new icon, I'm going to get add TLC entry to page 4. I can make a manual entry if I want to. I can link to another document. So if I select that, I'll be able to link another document to this document. And then of course I can show the table of contents that we already have built. I have the regular RM entry, the 2530 media, and the sample page. And if you notice here, I actually made 2530 media a sub outline or a sub table of content. And by selecting my arrow, now I've moved it back. So if I want to see that sub table of content, I simply select that. Now I'm going to show you guys how to make a sub table of contents within the TLC. So we're going to add a new page. And we're going to just call this page Test TLC. So now that we have that set up, now I'm going to show you guys how you can use your selection tool to add that TLC. So to show you guys how that works again, we're going to just circle it. We're going to select the table of contents entry, and it's going to select that table of content. Now we're going to go down here and we're going to view our table of content. So now that we're in our TLC, the first thing you'll see is we have 2 test TLC entries. That's because I selected it twice to show you guys how it works. So the first thing we're going to do is go to edit, and we're going to just delete this second entry because we don't need it. So now we've deleted it. So now we have the sample page and then the test TLC. What I want to make this test TLC, I want to make this a sub entry. So to do that, I'm going to select my right arrow key. Now that makes the test TLC a sub entry of the sample TLC. And if I want to collapse that one, I simply just select that arrow. So now it lets me know that under my sample page, I have a sub entry of test TLC. Same thing for the RM. Under my RM, I have a sub entry of 2530 media. And now I have my main TLC entries with my sub entries as well that I can make visible. So another mod that we put on our tablet is going to be link to a different document. So under my TLC menu, we're going to go to link to another document. Once I select link to another document, it's going to allow me to exit that document and go find whatever document I want to link to, whether that's a PDF, EPUB, or another page. So what we're going to do is make a link to this sample page we have here. Once I select that, I choose which page that I want to link to. Once I make that selection, I can change the name or leave it how it is. We're going to just leave that as the new notebook, and we're going to hit save. Now we're back in the original notebook that we were working in. To access that linked document, we're going to go to our table of contents menu, and we're going to go to our show TLC. Now you'll see we have the linked document. You'll see you have a link icon here to let you know that's a linked document and not a part of the regular notebook. The regular notebook table of contents entries are pages. Your linked documents have that icon. So we're going to select this document. And now it's going to take us to that linked document that we were on. Now, for this next example, I'm going to show you guys another useful tool that I added via mods, and that's going to be creating a new document from an existing document. So to do that, we're going to go to our favorites. No, actually, we're going to go to our tags. And then from our tags, we are going to search a tag. Once we've selected our daily planning tag, I'm going to select the notebook I'm looking for. And we're going to go to our pages view. Now, let's say I want to make a new document out of these 2 pages. I'm going to long press, select the 2 pages that I want. Next thing I'm going to do is go to more. Once you go to more, you're going to see that you have a new selection, which is going to say new document from current pages. We're going to select this new document from pages. That's going to create a new notebook. Now I can add a new name for that. So we're going to change the name. It's going to take me to the original document I started from. I still have those pages intact that I made the new document from. And while we're still here, I'm going to show you guys another mod that we added, which is going to be the ability to view those annotated pages that you have on PDFs. So since this document is made from a PDF, we're going to hit annotated. Once I hit annotated, it's going to show you your annotated pages from PDFs. Now, since all 3 of these pages were PDF pages, you'll see that they show up as annotated. When I deselect it, now all of my pages that either weren't annotated on or are just regular notebook pages will show here. So now we're back to our home screen. I'm going to show you guys the document that I created from that one notebook. So to get there, we're going to go through our file system. Now, this is the original notebook that we started with, and this are the 2 pages that we created that document from. If you remember, we named it New Document 1, so we're going to select it. And here are the 2 pages that we created from that one notebook. So these are the 2 pages we created from the previous notebook. And if we go back to that previous notebook, you'll be able to see those pages that we created from this larger notebook. So that was just a quick walkthrough of what it's like using reManager to add mods to your tablet. And I showed you guys a couple of the mods that I added. I only added about 16 mods to the tablet. And honestly, out of those 16 mods that I added to the tablet, it's only like 3 or 4 that I truly, really need. Now, the reMarkable software, the native software, what it comes with, honestly, is enough for me to do what I want to do with e-ink, and I don't need the mods. But the mods that I added are a couple of things that I was missing from the platform that I previously pivoted from, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to kind of tinker with my workflow and set up the tablet that's tailor-made for me. If you are interested in these mods, like I said, do your research. Check out reMarkable's website, check out their policies and what they speak about putting your tablet in developer mode and adding these mods. And also, I'm going to link Mitchell Scott's YouTube page in the description where you'll be able to get all the information that you need on how to load reManager and get set up adding mods to your tablet if that's something that you want to do. Shout out to Mitchell Scott and the team of developers that he works with to bring us this great platform. Go ahead and buy them a coffee. You'll be able to find that in their links on their pages. Thank you for checking out the content, and I'll see you next time.